Chairman, thank you. Thank you for the things you said in your opening statement, and thank you for organizing this hearing. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to all of our witnesses for joining us today. I certainly appreciate what Senator Tester had to said, and I look forward to learning more from this hearing about how we can do our jobs as a committee better. In modern history, we have tragically seen that exposure to toxic substances have become increasingly common component of armed conflicts and warfare. Such exposure is not always known or considered at the time, and too often the long-term health effects are not understood. For too long, veterans have been exposed to toxic substances during the course of their military service, and they have faced overwhelming barriers to get the VA care and services that they deserve. The burden of proof is a challenge for veterans, and we must find ways to bridge that gap. I was encouraged by bipartisan legislation passed by this committee last Congress to address these issues. As a result of our work, we have seen several new laws on the books directing research and covering more of our veterans from Vietnam and Korean War, but our work, of course, is far from done. Over the years, Congress has responded to multiple cohorts of veterans affected by exposure to mustard gas, Lewinite during the 40s, ionizing radiation and from nuclear test sites during the Cold War, Agent Orange during the Vietnam War, Gulf War, illnesses during Desert Storm, and now burn pits and other toxins during the global war on terror. The varied approaches to addressing these different exposures in the past demonstrates the need to establish a fair, transparent, and sustainable process going forward. Decades of patchwork fixes show a clear need for significant improvement. As we consider ways to improve how our country cares for those who became ill through exposure to these substances during their military service, we must and should listen to those who have suffered the negative health outcomes. I think all of my committee colleagues would agree that when I say that the voices of veterans are always those we want to hear, the ones we listen to most. There's the voices we hold in highest regard in helping us do our jobs. It is also crucial that we hear from the scientific and medical communities. Care works best when there's a reliable system in place for the VA to first conduct or be provided with necessary scientific research upon which to inform timely decisions on whether to establish presumptions of service connection for certain conditions. Veterans deserve an enduring framework to identify, research, and address cases of toxic exposure in a timely manner. The need for reform has existed far too long, and veterans cannot be forced to wait decades for care any longer. In our last hearing, I remember hearing one of the VSO representatives indicate that he had been working on his own case, for the life of the time, for his lifetime, since he departed from the service with still no satisfaction. I'm interested to hear from our witnesses today on how best we on this committee can achieve the outcomes that we all want for veterans. Look forward to hearing from each of you today and to continue to work to make certain that all veterans suffering negative health consequences from their service receive the care they deserve. And I yield back to the chairman.